Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. This is Julia Lopez here, your communication architect, wearing my second hat as a VP for PSA Spain, Professional Speakers Association Spain. And today I have a very special guest for our talks about our Make an Impact convention happening in November in Barcelona, 18th of November. And he is a very special guest because he is one of the few people in this planet that I can call a friend. So this is very special for me to have him here. And before I allow him to go here in our stage, let me give you a little bit of introduction about who he is, but I will also allow him to talk about himself. Our guest today is Norberto Amaral. And Norberto is a consultant and trainer on communications and events. He's a speaker coach, TEDx organizer, one of the best TEDx in the world, the TEDx portal. He's a Toastmaster, very dedicated one, and author of the book Impacto, Comunicar en Público. He's a professional speaker on a variety of different subjects, including communication, leadership, entrepreneurship, science, and technology. Norberto will be speaking at the PSA Spain Make an Impact convention on the topic Giving the Speech of Your Life, Lessons from TEDx. Norberto, welcome.
Thank you. Hi, Tulia.
Welcome, Norberto, calling from Portugal, your
hmm
home country. Norberto, you have a big question to answer us here.
hmm
First, actually, two big questions. The first one is why you believe, in your experience, why professionals in general need to be aware and need to consider investing on their communication and speaking skills.
I think it just goes in hand. There's nothing that can be done in this world, however simple it is, that you can do by yourself. So you need to be able to relate to other people at any level. Of course, if you, for example, want to do something as simple as a pencil, you'd be surprised to know that there's no way that anyone in the world, not a single person, can do a pencil by themselves. And it's actually one of the simplest machines, if we can call it that, because there's not a single person who can both get the graphite and also the wood, and by the way, the paint and a little bit of rubber in the back and also the bit of metal. And that's just to talk about the physical things, because there's also lots of services around, like transporting the pencils to the supermarket and getting all the money flows and so on. Again, nobody does this by themselves. It's impossible. Now, if we want to do a pencil, and of course anything that is more complex than a pencil, we need to get together with other people, and we need to speak. Now, we need to speak at a level which is, one to one or team to team, company to company. But at some point in our lives, even, for example, to propose to somebody else the idea of making pencils, like when you are pitching an idea that you have, you need to be able to speak in public in a way that, of course, is focused 100% on the message, but also that the form itself also helps the message get across. Form and function, let's say, form and content actually go hand in hand. And that's really the only way that the message is going to get across. And then you have a higher probability of having your proposals approved. That's why I think it's really important for any professional to be able to speak in public.
We have now, which became a motto of our association, from the Professional Speaker Association Spain, which comes from our current president, Andrew Bryant, which is you don't need to become, not everybody needs to become a professional speaker, but every professional needs to speak professionally. And we really embrace that because it summarizes everything we believe. And exactly what you said, we take for granted, many professionals take for granted the need of craft the communication skills, because we think we speak, we communicate, and doesn't really work like that, right?
No, of course. I think the motto is incredible. I love wordplays, and that one has a lot of insight into it. I think
Mhm.
what's Andrew and of course your PSA is trying to say is we don't really necessarily need to be paid in order to get our message to get across. Maybe if we're lucky. I remember an old boss of mine used to say when I told him that my dream one day would be to get paid to speak in public. He said, "Well, yeah, good for you because I've been at this for such a long time. I've never been offered any money to speak anywhere." So he was a
Mm.
bit, envious of that idea that I had for myself. And I didn't mind that status, of course. But the thing is, what's really matters here is that you need to make your presentation as good as a professional speaker would, even if you're not being paid for that. But in fact, you are being paid. If you think about it, you are being paid in many other currencies, like attention. It's the highest currency that it can be. The time that people devote and give with to you, if you are speaking, that attention, that time, it's never going. You're never going to get it back. There's no way. I mean, that's the ultimate currency. It's not
Mhm.
just money, of course, but again, if you do a good pitch, if you do a good presentation with a good proposal that you are going to get approved, you are definitely going to get paid with that, professionally. Of course,
Yes.
there's just the foot in the door. You're going to have a lot more work in the future. It's not just the speaking for itself, which would be amazing by itself, of course, but it's also the work that you're going to get, new projects, new things are going on, new business that you're going to get if you speak professionally, as in, well, if you speak well enough so that if people could look at you and think, oh, this guy's a pro.
It
I love it.
really, yeah, it really raises your credibility and your
Mhm.
authority, because even like people working in organizations, they might not think of being paid to speak, but they need to have a voice inside of the organization, with their teams, in with their superiors, their managers, and with their clients, and they have to be able to express themselves. And you and I, we go to many events and you organize events, and we know sometimes how much a professional miss the opportunity to really build their credibility, their
Mhm.
authority, their trustworthiness with the audience, because they cannot communicate their message in a clear manner. They don't know how to deliver their ideas in a way that come across, that reach the audience they are talking to. So, on that note, we have our event in November in
Mhm.
PSA Spain. PSA, Professional Speakers Association Spain, is a newly founded association. We are 4 years old only, but there, the PSAs are all over the world. And many people are asking, what is this event about? The core of this event is to give the audience, the participants, the ones who are there, teachings, tools, experience from people like you and all the international speakers we are bringing, also the local speakers, about how to craft our speaking business. But even for those ones who don't want to become professional speakers in the sense of getting paid, they still will learn how to position themselves as professionals who can speak professionally.
Mhm.
And I want to clarify this because it's not going to be an event where people would sit and watch. It will be more an event where people would do something and take something very practical and tangible home. And you will be there, Norberto,
Yes.
and your topic. So tell these people who are watching us, there are some people already watching us, why they should go there to watch you, to listen to you, Norberto.
What a great question. I think people will want to listen to me because of my experience as a TEDx organizer. I've
Mm,
seen many times in the past where I'm approached by people who want to be speakers at TEDx Porto and other events as well, not just TEDx Porto. And I want to give the people an opportunity to at least to understand themselves and the idea they're trying to convey. Now, let's take a step back. One of the reasons, the most important reasons actually, why many people approach me is that they want an accolade. They want a stage where they can promote themselves. And from that perspective, that makes sense. What I'm trying to give the opportunity to people to understand is from a different angle. The best way to promote themselves is actually to help the public with a
Mm,
new idea, with a new insight, something that they have learned, or that we can teach them or share with them, that will be completely radical, new, innovative, it will be groundbreaking, and it will be life changing. Now, it doesn't have to be just from a personal growth or personal development perspective. It can be anything. We could excel at something. We could be doing a master's or a PhD on something. We could be learning something new. We could have found something completely new. And that in itself, that's the value. And we just happen to be the people who are conveying that message.
mm,
And of course, when people like the message, they also like the messenger, not the other way around so much. Well, it happens, of course. If people like the messenger, most probably they will also like the message itself. But I think that's the wrong way around. I think if we are generous with the public, by sharing something that is, we're sharing something generously from the bottom of our hearts, something that's really insightful, people will definitely value it, and they see that there's nothing, behind, like an ulterior motive for that we're giving
mhm,
out of our hearts. And that's
mhm,
really the best approach possible. Then you build your credibility even more into it, because you're not doing this for yourself, you're doing this for the sake of the public.
mm.
And when we change that, I think people will also, the speakers themselves will also appreciate, and they will also benefit from that.
I loved what you said. The people would love the messenger after they love the message. And of course, when you are a known person, that can work immediately the other way around. Like, because I know you, I already love you. So immediately I will be more nodding at you. But it's very important. The first one that you said, people love will love the messenger once they love the message, because should be our focus when we go on stage, no matter
Yeah.
stage can be varied shapes and form, can be here in a
Mhm.
conversation. If I am really speaking from my heart, we have to bring from here to
Mhm.
communicate from here, but with the intention to
That's right.
that my message reaches you. It's not about me, it's about the message I want to reach you. We are building a bridge of connection, because at the end, what do we want when we communicate, when we are sharing a story? Create bonds,
Exactly.
connections, right? And I think one of the biggest mistake of people who are not trained, people who have not embraced this path of working on their communication skill, and they are too much in their head, and they are thinking too much about themselves
Yeah.
when they are in front of the people, because they are concerned about what people will think about me. And when you're thinking about that, it's because you're thinking about yourself in the first place, and you have to forget about that and think that your message is what matters.
Yeah.
And it follows exactly what you said.
And if
If
I may
people
add,
like the message, they will like the messenger.
exactly. If I may add, Tulia, what we
Uh,
see many times, and this is nothing new, this has been going on for a very long time, is that we hear lots of people, we see lots of people who are doing this out of for the reasons of their own personal brand to develop it.
mm,
And look, this personal brand shouldn't be about how you behave in public, how you are. I mean, the form of, or the content, just the content itself, as in how you're going to actually get there. It's the other way around again. I think the personal brand that you build can be all about the ideas that you bring and the value that you bring to the public. And so once you do that, the all is our oyster. You can do anything you want, but you have to kind of unfocus from yourself for a while, focus on the public, and then, by natural and not natural order of things, people will focus again on yourself, because they then know that, oh, Tuli always does this in public. She always gives a big insight when she's in public, and she never gives the same insight twice, and so on. That's a very strong personal brand, rather than just what
absolutely.
we sometimes see, that people are just doing it out of their promotion, because they want more business, they want to go to more events and speak in public and so on, and get paid for that. That's the end point. That's the cherry on the top of the cake. But until
That
then, we
is
have to
the result of you're doing all the other things before.
exactly.
And I have just to finalize, we are almost over our time. And one of my mentors once said, you never have problems in your business if you focus on serving and helping people. The
Exactly.
more people, the more you focus on about giving your best to people, you never have problem in developing your business. So it's about, when you're on the stage, is the same. If you focus on how much can I give to these people and forget about yourself as a person there, you're just a vessel, then you do a good job. And I'm sure, Norberto, knowing you, that you do a great job there, sharing with us your stories about how to have the speech of your life and prepare for the red dot, which became so much as a desirable place to be.
Yeah, I will. That's exactly my point. And also, it's not just for PSA. It's not just for myself. It's for, again, for the public that's going to be there. And if you're going to be there, whoever is going to be there, I guarantee from the bottom of my heart, my presentation will be about you, not me.
That's a very generous and good way to finish this conversation. Thank you so much for being here with us. And we're so looking forward to meeting you soon.
Me
And we
too.
are counting down the time now